Welcome to another episode of the Talking Shop Podcast. It appears as I'm gonna glitch this whole. I'll be like Max Headroom. I am Josh from Grand Slam Cards. Down below, we got Jacob over at It's Cobb. Over this way. Oh, now you're above. Over here, we got Michael, Medium Rare Cards. Over on the gram, it's podcast. It's Talking Shop time. I can't. Did we do one last week? We did. After WrestleMania, right? Yeah. It feels like it's been longer since we've done one. How are y'all doing?
We're not glitching. I think one of your
we're glitching on every angle. When Jacob does the rundown, I'll restart my camera. How about that?
One of your variants is messing with us.
Well, let's go ahead and get to the rundown.
Let's do it.
Welcome to episode 110 of the Talking Shop Podcast. Today we're catching up on a busy weekend, recapping the card show in Charlotte. I didn't know that was a thing, and talking about some standout moments from the Masters tournament. We're also covering the latest buzz in the hobby world, from what's coming up at the Fanatics Fest to updates around the scandal involving Shohei Ohtani's interpreter. We'll even touch on the issues with the WWE stars and their autographs, and if this puts redemptions at risk. But first, let's get into the opening rip.
Thank you, Jacob. Wow, Josh. Now he's teeny little Josh.
I'm still
guys.
glitching.
I know. So, just throwing it out there. Did either one of you? And I bet this is how I feel when you guys talk about wrestling. Did either one of you watch any of the Masters this weekend?
Negative. Maybe like 30 seconds worth of some highlights, and not even hardly that. All I know was that Tiger made the cut, and the guy that was in the lead stuck by his word about he would have to dip if his wife goes into labor. Did you hear that?
I did. So Scotty Scheffler won the Masters. Spoiler alert.
Oh, it's over.
This is his second.
News to me.
Oh boy. And it's the second, which is significant because that's like a career defining thing.
Yeah,
is to win the Masters. Tiger did make the cut and then completely disappeared over the weekend. I love watching Tiger on television, but it's tough watching one of the greats of the game sort of hobble his way around the weekend. I'm not really sure what was going on. It was health-wise. But the reason why I bring this up is, like, I've got a couple golfing cards. I've got a David Duval. You guys don't know who that is. But you guys have certainly heard of Ben Hogan, right?
I've heard of Hulk Hogan.
Hulk's brother?
Close, right? Well, I got a Ben Hogan card and a couple Tiger cards. But golf is so big of a sport here in this country. I don't know. And it's so collectible. Every golfer I know collects golf balls from certain rounds. Like, they buy a ball marker or a flag from a course they play. So there's high collectability with golf stuff.
I thought you meant like they went out like we do. We go out and collect the golf balls that people hit into the woods.
Oh my gosh. I'm on the wrong podcast.
My brother lives kind of on a golf course.
Literally on the wrong podcast.
We go into his backyard and collect the golf balls. But
it's like an Easter egg hunt. Look, I got an orange one and a bright green one, guys. But like, Josh, out of since 2017, right? 2017, 2018, how many times has somebody come into the shop looking for golf cards?
You're not going to like the answer. Maybe once?
Ever. Shocking to me. That's shocking to me because I feel like, I mean, if you ever watch a golf tournament, it's like insurance company, Mercedes, financial company, and retirement fund. Those are the commercials you see.
Yeah.
That's the type of person that has this type of disposable income you'd like to see in the hobby, right? But
Oh yeah, the amount of people that like to golf. I mean, it's a lot of the guys that are regulars to the shop.
yeah,
Derek makes an
crazy.
interesting comment there. Yeah, there you go. Golf memorabilia is a lot more desirable than the cards. I can't say one way or the other.
I know. I can't disagree with you, Derek. And it's sort of flipped, right? Like every other sport, I feel like cards are more desirable than the memorabilia. Am I wrong there?
I mean, I don't know the answer, but I would take Derek's knowledge over mine for sure.
Yeah. Well, Scotty Scheffler is turning out to be one of the all-time guys at the Masters. There's only been a handful of people that have won 2. Super likable guy. I think golf is sort of missing the villain to collect, but sat there. It's one of the few events that I'll sit there and just watch, park myself in front of the television and watch. So, but before I went and sat myself in front of the television, I went to the card show in Charlotte. Did you guys know that there was a card show going on in Charlotte? This is Burke's show. He has it at the DoubleTree every quarter.
I've been there.
Couple of our guys from the shop. We went up. We had a presentation up there and sold a bunch of stuff.
Behind the foreign car dealership, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Usually about 100 tables. If you go to the card shows here in Charlotte, it's the usual suspects. I went before the show started just to say hey to the guys, stay connected, and then I took off. But everybody that I talked to about the show said it was busy the entire time. Did you get that same sort of feedback from the guys?
Yeah, we sold. The only difference would be is we sold the majority of our cards in the first half of the day, and not nearly as much the second half. So I will say that doesn't mean it wasn't busy the whole time though. So that could be very true. And then the only complaint I ever get probably about that show is just elbow room, just some more. It gets a little tight in there. But I can't vouch for that. Although I think I did go to it once and it was a little tight, but
yeah,
that's a good problem to have. It means it's well attended.
It is, and I think baseball's in full swing now. It was Masters weekend. The draft is the NFL draft coming up. NFL draft is coming up, or did it? Yeah, it's coming up. So it's that cool. We're in the postseason now. I think in the NBA. So like quote unquote meaningful basketball now is starting to happen. So I think from what I heard, it was busy. I think the hobby's in a good spot.
Yep.
You're not getting these 30% dips now. I think you're starting to get things a little more predictable. Collectors can sort of breathe easy. So
yeah,
it was nice. How was traffic in the shop this weekend?
It was good. So funny story. I started the day out on Saturday here at the shop. And about the time we opened, I had to go home and I was in bed the rest of the day. I couldn't do it. And my guys knew that it was that I must not have been feeling good because they're like, for Josh to leave on a Saturday, he must not have been feeling good. But yeah, I don't know what, something hit me right in the morning as we were getting ready to open and I couldn't hardly stand. So,
wow.
But we had a good day at the shop for sure. And the guys held it down.
You're feeling so bad that your video continues to glitch. That's how bad you're feeling.
I feel like how my webcam is acting right now. Or I feel great now.
Well, it's good to have you back whole. Jacob, how about you? How was your weekend? Do anything card-wise, card-specific, collector-specific?
I can't think of anything I did this weekend at all.
Way to be productive.
Hey, that's a good weekend in my book.
Yes,
you want to know what I did yesterday for the first time as an adult I went fishing.
Okay.
I'm a city slicker, and so my two middle-aged boys have been dying to go fishing, and they've gotten the gear, and we went to Cabela's, and I got a pole,
Oh
and
boy.
we took our kayaks to the Catawba, and
I
kayak.
bet you guys were just like Brad Pitt and a river runs through it. Just you could just almost hear the music, or was it
we did
an
good
hour and then complaining the whole time?
Yeah, so I don't know how to explain how much these fish caught. So we caught two. Both were caught by my oldest of the two boys that went with us. One was it was about this far from the boat. No, I'm just kidding. It was probably a bass this big, which was cool, And then he caught a catfish that was no joke. I mean, it's hard to see on here. I should have had pictures. I should have sent them to Jacob. He could throw it up on the
amateur.
In fact, we're going to do that. But it was big. Those are the only two. So me and my youngest did not catch anything, but we had a good time. And Jacob, if you will throw this picture up for all you fishing guys, you can appreciate this.
What's a fishing guy called? An angler?
Fisherman.
A fisherman, or they're anglers?
I
would love to learn how to fly fish because I play golf, and everybody that has played golf that fishes, they tell me that the whole fly fishing thing is very similar.
Is the way to go.
Same
all right, so if you're
watching, Derek is saying, come down to Louisiana and we'll get you some 4-foot redfish in the bayou.
So,
here we go.
All right, so here we go. There's the catfish. Tell me that's not a good sized catfish.
That's a good photo too. That's pretty cool.
Yep, that was the second one we caught. He caught, I should say, and that was the first one. So a little bass. So we did good. That was our first ever fishing adventure. So we have many more planned. That's the goal.
Are you, no pun intended, are you hooked?
Yeah, it was fun. But I'll say I will only do it if the weather's nice. I enjoy being outside in nice weather. So if it's a crappy day, my desire to fish does not outweigh going out in bad weather. So
I've turned to that sort of golfer too. It's good. It's nice outside.
And just a heads up, if I disappear for a moment, I'm expecting an important phone call I can't miss. So you guys might have to drive without me for just a few minutes. So if I disappear, whoever's watching or listening, that's why.
Well, before you disappear, let's get into new in the shop. What's in the shelves this week?
That's a good
idea. There's like one. I know it's a light week. I feel like we say that too often, but 2024 Topps Chrome Black baseball hits the shelves Wednesday. So since we last talked, we got full-size TriStar autographed mystery football helmets, Heritage Baseball 2024. We got hobby boxes of that and mega boxes straight from Topps. Origins basketball hit the shelves since we talked last, and a bunch of fill-in stuff. So that's the fill-in stuff. The new stuff, really, just looking at the calendar, Topps Chrome Black Baseball is going to be it this week.
I love that product. I've ripped a fair amount of it. It's always, I feel like it's always in good shape. Like that's one of the few ones to where there's not a lot of quality control issues. They look great.
Yeah, they look great.
I tell you, not a lot of resale value on that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. You got to hit one of the bangers out of there too. They got some big names on the checklist. So that's a product where you can hit Ohtani or Trout, or you can hit nobody.
But you said it's been a light week lately, but like you've been hitting the restocks like a madman.
Yeah, we've been our weekends are so busy that if I don't keep stuff after a weekend on the shelves, then it gets picked over pretty fast. So we're loaded right now. So if you're local, come on down. Oh, and we're filling a select baseball hobby box break over on the break page. I haven't hardly pumped it at all because I can't break it tonight, so I got to be careful. I can break it tomorrow though, and so you'll probably
Select baseball.
Select baseball from 23. We got a 3-box break, and my phone call's coming in. So talk some Fanatics card show. I'll be right back.
But before we do that, how about we hop into this video's sponsor? How about that?
Here we go.
Are you looking to get your cards graded? Well, here at Grand Slam, we've simplified the process of submitting and getting a card graded. All you have to do is drop off your cards and kick your feet up, while our transparent tracking ensures that you are up to date with every detail along the way. When you log into our website, you'll immediately be greeted with each card in the grading process, along with where it's at in the process and its final grade. And with over 1,000 submissions and some of the top cards across the country being submitted through us, we have become a well-trusted source to handle and submit your cards. So you can do more collecting and leave the chore of grading to us. So don't sit on grading your cards. Get them submitted today at Grand Slam, where grading's made easy.
How about that?
Nice timing. Thank you, Jacob.
You know, it is
Thank you,
weird
Grand
seeing
Slam.
Josh without a beard in the promo and then seeing him here looking like a 5'4" mountain man. It is different.
It is. It is.
It is very
So
different.
while he's gone, one of the things that I want to talk about is something that you actually dropped into our group chat. I'm going
Yes.
to pull that up, and then I'm going
Absolutely.
to let you drive, man, because
Oh, okay.
I honestly can only even recognize 3 or 4 of these names. and
No,
I'm
you
not
know,
really
you
sure what the significance is. So, Jacob, what are we looking at here with regards to these wrestling stars, Panini, and autographs? What do we got on this?
So everybody knew there was a lawsuit happening between WWE and Panini, and that's like been kind of resolved, but not entirely, because once you kind of open that wound, it doesn't really heal entirely. So there have been issues with people that haven't signed in a couple of years. Of course, they're the big names. There's a few nobodies that aren't with the company anymore. But they gave a little bit of an update to some of the big wrestling guys in the hobby, talking about, the big names that we would expect, we have redemptions from. So at the top, as you see, it says Triple H and Randy Orton. Both the names are no longer.
Let me just jump in here. For you guys who are new to the hobby, I don't know who might be listening to this. Go into what a redemption is, and maybe how that differs from anything else that you would pull in a pack. Just for a little color commentary.
So a redemption is basically an autograph that wasn't fulfilled on time.
And why does this happen typically in
some people you can't get a hold of.
wrestling? In wrestling. So why does this happen?
Some people you just can't get a hold of. Some people aren't booked on like week-to-week TV, so even if Panini sent out a rep, they wouldn't be there. Other people are too busy, like Triple H, who is too busy running the show to sit down and sign a bunch of autographs. Or you have people that were injured for a long time, like Randy Orton, who's doing rehab too much and has just recently came back.
Okay. And so what happens is the product releases before they're able to get the product in their hands, whether it's an on-card or whether it's a sheet of the stickers. And at a later date, you turn in this redemption, and when that athlete or star gets in front of whatever they need to sign, then they're supposed to send those back if you have sort of that golden ticket, that redemption card.
Right.
Okay.
But this is an issue you run into with redemptions. So, and I got a question for you after we go through the names. Okay. So Triple H and Randy Orton are no longer going to be on the autograph checklist because they haven't signed their outstanding cards. And of course, when you have high-level people, it's just bound to happen. For Cody Rhodes, who's the highest of highs right now, he is signing 2022 product, and the 23 product are on track. So when you have a big name, it's going to be hard to get a hold of them. Roman Reigns, their description basically was, as you see on TV, he makes his own schedule and he signs on his own schedule. He's been kind of carrying the company the last 4 years. So it's one of those things. Charlotte Flair signed last week at Mania and signed previously to the Elite release. So we're hoping
now,
on those.
Are these names in order of bigness as far as
because
star?
Undertaker and John Cena are at the bottom.
Okay, so even because I just thought because they've been in it for so long that their stars have somewhat faded, but no.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Ooh, I came
then-
back right in time to talk wrestling.
Oh yeah. And now Becky Lynch, it was revealed, I think during WrestleMania night 1, that she had a really bad case of strep throat and still went out there and performed in 40-degree weather outside. So obviously she wasn't able to sign at Mania because she just was probably focused on that. And then with Undertaker and John Cena, says both stars should have shipments started or going out shortly on many outstanding cards. So there you go.
So
But-
what's the impact here, Jacob?
Well, a lot of people were spreading the news, stop buying redemptions, because since there is that rocky relationship with WWE and Panini, the incentive is kind of risky at the moment.
Okay.
Now, you guys know a lot more about cards and redemption and all that stuff than I do, but I know Topps is still honoring redemptions from 3-4 years ago for wrestling that are long expired. They're still sending out like actively cards to other talent, which is pretty crazy to see. So, but this, like, I really want to know what you guys think though. So everybody always complains about hitting points. If you know that this is, because everybody knows this is a possibility with a redemption that you might not get it. Does that make points more desirable? Not like then the redemption, of course, but it's not an entire skunk like a lot of people believe.
No,
Okay, and just like we broke down redemptions, just in case there's somebody that has no idea what you guys are talking about, what are Panini points? And Josh, you could speak to this because you're really good. You're really good about purchasing. If you see somebody hits these in a box, you'll actually purchase these, right?
I used to until I got up
Right.
to about 50 to 60,000 Panini points, and now I'm like on pause. But
Okay.
yeah.
So what are Panini points? Just for
Panini-
if anybody's new to the hobby.
Panini points are cards you get in the box that are replacements for the guaranteed autograph. So you get a little sour taste in your mouth there because you don't hit your hit. You get Panini points instead. And in a perfect world, Panini points could have been a really good idea if the points you could use to redeem them for were for desirable products. The problem is you save up 10,000 in Panini points, and there's just not very much desirable product to buy on their website with those points. That being said, I would much rather get a redemption card, even if I felt like there was slim chance I was going to get that card, because you can always take that redemption card to Panini's booth at the National and say,
there we go.
I have not gotten this card, and they'll make it right. They'll hook you up with something typically at the National. Or if you call over the phone, if you want to jump through all the hoops, they could replace it with something else. And so here's an example if you're watching what you can buy. I mean, who wants a Gary Jennings Jr. autographed card, out of
Since we're mentioning it, there's no wrestling redemptions, which obviously is not their moneymaker, but you get a redemption in not redemption, points rewards. So like you can't even use your points on something wrestling related.
So if you're a wrestling fan that's bought in that and you've gotten Panini points, your choice is to save those up to buy a basketball player. That makes sense. It's almost like, and I could totally be wrong because I don't study this hardcore, but it's almost like Panini is like a battered boxer. And every time you turn around, they've just gotten punched and they just keep on fighting, but it's not looking good. And that's just from the outside. I don't know if you guys get that vibe too, but it's like at some point they're going to take the knockout blow and it's going to be over.
Yeah, I mean, so to get this back into the wrestling discussion and redemptions, and I don't know what it's going to look like when Fanatics has everything, right? If they're going to honor Panini redemptions, because they'll have the agreement with the players, hopefully. Like, I don't know if this is going to be does WWE have like a players association?
They don't have.
They're all
They're technically
individual.
independent contractors.
Okay, all right.
That's why people like John Cena and Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold can sign with Leaf.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I don't know, man. Josh makes a great point about Panini just being that fighter that is sort of on one knee right now and just waiting for somebody to either throw in the towel or a miraculous comeback. I don't see it happening, man. It'd be different if they were like stacking great decisions on top of each other or stacking these small wins to gain some momentum. Momentum's a funny thing, right?
Yeah.
Momentum makes you feel worse than you are or better than you are. And right now they've just got so much bad momentum that it's so difficult for the perception of the hobby to say, yeah, Panini's going to do this and that, and it's going to be great. I think everybody's just waiting for them to screw up again. So we'll see. All right. What do we got on Shohei and the drama around Shohei?
Oh boy, here we go.
Hey, this is good, right?
And we're keeping it hobby related.
So for you guys that are listening, this is from John Boy Media. The Department of Justice says Ippei Mazuhara used Shohei's bank account to spend $325,000 on upwards of 1,000 baseball cards. Yay. How many of those do you think are Shohei cards?
Wouldn't it be funny if they were all Acuñas?
That would be funny. How many of these are his cards that he's having Shohei sign and then he's flooding the market?
Oh,
I mean, the guy's a gambler. The guy's apparently a criminal, but remains
now.
to be seen. Allegedly.
Now this isn't that story, but apparently he's been exonerated, right? Shohei has.
Sure seems like it. It's almost like it's disappeared. Has he been exonerated? Have you heard anything that they've investigated and everything is on the up and up as far as he?
I think he has. Guys, in the comments, if you're live or you're watching this on the replay, let us know what you've heard. I don't want to speculate. I want this to be sort of factual when it comes to this. But from what I've heard, he's been exonerated. His interpreter is waiting for the axe to fall, and Shohei is going to move on.
And he has been playing pretty well, too, which goes against my prediction.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's going to get his, right? There's nowhere to hide from in that Dodgers lineup like there was in the Angels lineup. So he's going to get his. But, I mean, Mookie Betts is making Shohei look like a normal person. Mookie Betts has gotten off to a scorching hot start. But I'm actually shocked. I'm really shocked that this has sort of become a non-factor. And so let's put our tinfoil hats on. The face of the league, good-looking kid, international star. Was it his idea that this guy takes the fall, or did all the people making so much money on baseball sort of go behind a closed door and say, Shohei cannot fall for this? We've got to make this disappear.
I mean, if we have tinfoil hats on, we have to lean that way. Otherwise, you got to go with what you're given, I guess. I think I heard something a while back where Ohtani's teammates almost found it laughable. Like, trust me, this dude is not involved in it. You know what I mean? Like, you spend every day of the year with this guy. You really learn how that person is. I could be wrong on this, but I think I did hear that. And it was kind of like, they were like, there's no way. Like,
There's no way that he did it, or there's no way he didn't know it was happening.
There's no way that he did it. And maybe that's just they know his personality and he just maybe he's too nice or, and it's easy to get walked on, or the guy doesn't have a gambler's bone in his body,
Josh,
we're never going to know the answer.
Would you know if one of your guys was siphoning money out of the register to cover his gambling debts?
Yeah. I mean,
you would.
Yeah.
And that's of them speak English, and so do you. You're not interpreting anything.
Right.
I just cannot believe that Shohei is that good of a baseball player, but that dumb of a human being.
Or just that busy. I mean, what would equate to 325,000 on out of what $700 million? What's that equate to? Like someone stole $500 from you? If you're really busy and it may not be that big of a deal or that noticeable. I mean, you got to think this guy is going 24/7, 365.
I get it.
Man. Or his interpreter could have been like, "Hey, I'm in some trouble with something. Do you mind?" And to him, like Josh said, that's $500.
Yeah. The only thing that there may be some, like, there's nothing wrong with this dude using Ohtani's money to buy baseball cards. So maybe that's a scenario where Ohtani's like, yeah, that's fine. And now when the crap hits the fan, it's kind of like, now I got to pretend like I didn't know about that stuff too. Even though there's nothing wrong with it, they're not going to believe that I knew about that, but not the other. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Know. That's the thing. I mean, this is fun. I think this is cool. Yeah, sure. Get there. Just reach in between my couch cushions and grab that $325,000 and buy some Topps Big League and see if you can get some magic boxes. But I mean, holy cow, the fact that this was blowing up a month ago and now it's like a non-factor.
Yeah, it's almost, well, and people predicted it. They're gonna cover this up for Ohtani and sweep it under the rug and move on as fast as possible. So either it was a conspiracy and that's what they did and everyone's right, or he was innocent and that's what happened and that's what where it stands. So it goes back to, I don't really care. Let these guys play baseball. That's why we follow them. We're not following them for their ethics. We're following them for their, like, my favorite actor in the world is Tom Cruise. Everybody knows that. I'm a Tom Cruise movie nut. The guy's a wacko in real life. I don't care. I don't follow him. I follow his movies and his acting. So I don't care. Outside of doing something to innocent people, elderly, children, I don't care what these guys do in their speed time or in their
what's an elderly child?
Me. If you ask my wife.
Well, so for me, I think one of the take-home lessons for me, number one, is careful who you surround yourself with. But I think if Ohtani isn't so likable, so marketable, so unbelievably talented, that this destroys him. Like if the media didn't like him and they got some sniff of this, but it just shows, man, he's like on like that Jordan level of Teflon as far as things sticking to him that are not positive.
Yeah, I mean, something else big comes out. I think it's going to start sticking. He better just make sure he's careful. Or surround himself with better people.
Yeah. Well, let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think. We've got Derek commenting here. Wouldn't put it but it past Manfred. And then Remember, he's only making $2 million
Yeah.
this year. All of his money
That was
deferred.
that was one of our crazy stats. Like what? Ken Griffey Jr. is making more money than him this year in the league or something like that. So,
well, let us know in the comments what you guys think. Is this done? Have they successfully put a pin in this? I myself in 30 years, I'll be probably in the ground, but this is going to make a great documentary when the truth finally does come out about this.
Yep.
All right. Last piece of hobby news, and it's one that I haven't done a lot of research on. So, Jacob, I'm going to put it on you to maybe read some details off of the website here for people that are just catching this on the audio. But Fanatics Fest, the details have launched about this. Jacob, tell us a little bit about Fanatics Fest, and then we'll banter about it.
Well, like it says, it is a 3-day fan experience in August of this year. I will say this because I have been to New York Comic-Con at the Javits Center in New York City. It is a nightmare to try and operate around. So plan accordingly.
So in other words, make your Uber driver take you everywhere.
Yeah. So what is this, Jacob? Give us some details.
So it says dive into the excitement of the Fanatics Fest NYC, a first of its kind 3-day festival where sports enthusiasm meets pop culture enthusiasm meets pop culture meets collecting, and a celebration for fans of all ages. So it's basically a big convention, and they got some who's who of different.
Boy, don't they?
Yeah, scroll down. I mean, look at this lineup. I mean, there's Derek Jeter. There's Kevin Durant. I don't know who that second guy is. There's Sabrina Ionescu, Tom Brady, Eli Manning. Hopefully Tom Brady and Eli Manning are sitting next to each other, and they could banter back and forth. Hulk Hogan, Gary V. I'm sure this is not going to be the exhaustive lineup, but if you look up there, go to ticket info for me, Jake. Yeah, buy tickets. Buy some tickets.
Let's buy our tickets. Let's buy our tickets live.
So accept them cookies, get tickets.
I love cookies.
Yeah. Whoa. So for 3 days, it's nearly 500. But that's just getting there. This is in New York, so it's getting there on your own. So it's nearly $500 if you don't eat. Like just going there and you're packing PB&Js.
That's for the VIP.
Around. That's the VIP. For a 3-day ticket, it's not that bad.
Not bad.
Yeah. Nope.
152.
A little over the national, not a lot.
Right.
For comparison, I'm going to GalaxyCon in Raleigh in July this year, and their prices have went up, and it's now $75 for just their Saturday pass.
Nerd.
Yes.
So
I'm going to meet MJF.
So what you're saying, because I have zero context, because I've never been to Comic-Con. I've never been to a convention like this. I've been to some 3-day shows. This is reasonable, especially in New York.
Pretty good price.
Yeah. And
okay.
Didn't we talk about this back in the day? Like, is Fanatics going to do something to compete with the National? And this feels like that's what this is.
I would agree with you, Josh. I would say yes, but as of now, if you go back to the homepage, Jacob,
you can't buy tables. This isn't a card show.
This is exactly. This does not seem like, unless they want to pre-sell event tickets first, but I don't see a place to. I need
to quote Office Space here. What exactly would you say you do here?
Okay, yeah.
I mean, is it? We need a snapshot of what you would do. Like, obviously, there's going to be a lot of Fanatics merchandise for sale. I bet you could buy all sorts of sealed product from Fanatics.
Okay.
Right. Like, they haven't done a great job of telling you, like, here, click on that. What does general admission get you? Access to all exhibitors on the show floor. So who are the exhibitors?
Fanatics and Gary V. And PSA is going to be there.
PSA will be there.
Yeah. So what it is it's probably not the everyday man. It's all the big companies. Oh, here we go. There's our Topps, Lids, PSA, Fanatics, PWCC, Sports
Fanatics
Illustrated.
Live, PWCC. So there's probably going to be a breaking pavilion.
No, whatnot.
No,
Hallelujah.
whatnot. Shocker. There's probably going to be a breakers pavilion. I wonder if PWCC is going to have a couple live auctions.
That'd be cool.
Going on, or maybe even some silent auctions, to where you could walk around and see memorabilia, and you could throw a bid in, and it just ends when the event ends. I don't know who Mitchell and Ness is.
I think it's
a boardroom
hat company, isn't it? No.
Okay. So interesting, right? And in the thumbnails, is this what card shows? Is this the future of card shows? But this does not feel like a card show.
I don't.
But it's certainly going to set the stage for card shows to go in this direction.
So could this be like, let's do this without putting an invite out to the public and see how it's received, and then the next one,
I don't know. What's Jacob? You've been to a Comic-Con. Is there Pokemon cards and cards at Comic-Con?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, is it a strong presence or is it an afterthought?
Well, no, the ones I normally go to are more like collectible base. But if you go to Collecticon in Charlotte, that is cards as far as the eye can see.
Yeah,
but
there's
Comic-Con, you've gone to New York Comic-Con?
Yeah, that's mainly for like the big vendors and a chance to meet like massive celebrity names.
Okay.
That's kind of what you're going for there. You can also go shop the collectibles and stuff, but it's not many cards.
I mean, go back to the home screen, if you would, please.
There's going to be a lot of sealed product here.
Yeah.
So you're thinking they're moving sealed wax here?
Yeah, think of it like stores. Like these companies will be set up outside of the ones like PSA, and I think you got Lids, you've got Fanatics, you got Topps. I would assume they're going to have big booths with their items for sale. It's probably a lot of stuff out except single cards, which you need the public invited to set up.
Well, PWCC is going to be there, so
they'll have
high-end
auctions,
high-end singles.
Yeah.
Right.
You remember like at the National, that big middle area with all the, basically it's like a museum for those people.
Yes.
But
Jacob, you're about to say something?
That could be why they're marketing it as an experience.
Yeah.
And
games and giveaways and
But if they lean into that is one thing. But kind of like what Josh is saying, the fact that like you can't register and even like not just be a Joe Schmo and get a table there, like have an extensive application process, give a small shop or something like Grand Slam a chance to do something like this if they make it through the application process. Seems like a little bit of a gatekeeping thing. Like, these are the people you should support. These are the top names, and who cares about that guy over there?
Yeah, for now, maybe. Maybe they're not competing with card shows. Their goal is to not compete with card shows at this time. But
if they're marketing it like as an experience, like it looks like, whereas like a museum, like come see, like Josh, you've heard of WrestleMania Access, where they have it where you can meet celebrities, and then they have like ring-worn gear from historical matches and stuff like that. If they are going that route, that'd be pretty cool. Like they had Eddie Guerrero's lowrider you could take a photo in.
I'll tell you what, I'll buy your ticket and we'll send you up there.
Deal.
Boom. So, look at the show features.
Not the VIP now. Come on.
No.
What are the show features?
That's just a guess in the brands.
Okay.
I'm sure more info will come out as it gets a little closer too.
Yeah.
I just feel like this is super interesting. This is on the heels of them visiting Jeff Wilson's shop in Atlanta. And so I wonder if they're going to start saying, hey guys, if you and your card shop or your card company is going to be invited to something like this, you're going to need to level up to sort of unlock access to events like this. So
Wouldn't surprise me.
Super interesting.
I'm surprised
All
your
right,
homeboy's
guys.
not going to be there, Michael.
Ooh.
Your buddy in Atlanta.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure he's going to be part of this.
Yeah.
I'm sure him, probably, you know, the Burbank Cards in California will probably be there. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
And as when we find stuff out, you guys will find stuff out. All right, that's it for hobby news. Josh.
I do have one more bit of hobby news.
Yeah.
Did
go
you
ahead.
see when Tom Brady was asked if he would come out of retirement if he was given a call, and he told the guy, I don't know if they'd let me be a part owner now, but I'm not opposed to it. Would you not, his own mouth on camera said that this is going to be the greatest comeback of all time.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
And if you were the Raiders, who he is part owner with, why are you not beating his door down? This could be awesome. Stay
The
tuned.
greatest comeback ever has already happened. It's when Tiger won the Masters in 2019.
But like you said 30 minutes ago, Tiger's looking rough, and it's time to put the dog out back. Brady never had that dog out back moment.
No, in fact, some of Brady's last final years were as good as his prime years. You get him on the right team, he can do it. His body's healed from what little bit it needed to heal. Yeah, this would be awesome.
Also, The Rock.
I don't understand how these teams can hear him say, I wouldn't be opposed to coming back. Just from a pure revenue standpoint, why are they not like, get his agent and throw the Brinks truck at him? Because we'll sell more Tom Brady jerseys than anything. Just don't say I didn't say I told you so.
What?
Don't say I didn't.
Will not. Don't.
You
say.
Don't tell me that I didn't.
You know what to not say.
I probably not say anything. Josh, I was gonna show a couple cards that I was gifted at the show, but Josh dropped something in the private chat about hits from the shop.
And it's not what he dropped; it's how he dropped it. He dropped it like it was a bag of chips in a vending machine.
I was like, "Oh, here, can you get that for me?"
Maybe I would have dropped it like a diamond or something, but I don't own this item. It came through the store, and the customer would like to work with us to get it authenticated. And the few people we've had peek at it can almost guarantee authenticity. The story behind it seems 100% legit. And this is a sweet piece of memorabilia that came through the door. Jacob, throw it up on screen so our viewers can see it. So I haven't told you the whole thing about this. So as you can see, this is a Babe Ruth autographed baseball. Look how good that autograph looks, for one.
Wow.
Below it, can you tell that name below it? Because it's got a couple of names on this thing. The name below it is Jackie Robinson. And then on the other side is Dizzy Dean. So it's got Babe Ruth, Dizzy Dean, Jackie Robinson, and I think one more that's less famous on there. But yeah, the guy obviously doesn't want to ship this off to get it authenticated, but he's going to get it authenticated.
At the Fanatics Experience live in New York.
No, he's not going to do that, but he is going to have it done probably with JSA in person. But
holy cow.
That's the first time I've seen one in person. A little fun story that has to do with Babe Ruth's autograph. A customer emailed the store probably a year or two ago and said he lives somewhere up on the upper Northeast, and he has a big framed Babe Ruth picture with a cut Babe Ruth autograph at the bottom of it, and on the back is like a typewriter typed letter about it, and the address that it was purchased from was Grand Slam Cards in Rock Hill. So the guy obviously calls us and says, I've got this item. It's authenticated. Apparently it was purchased at your shop years and years and years ago. That's the only other Babe Ruth piece of merchandise that I know of. But you see some Babe Ruth autos on balls and on other items, and they don't look this good.
Yeah, this is a good one.
This is pretty awesome. So we're going to help him get it authenticated, or at least point him in the right direction. And then we'll finish the story on the podcast at some point.
Well, that certainly qualifies for a massive hit from the shop. Guys, if you guys have made it this far, like, subscribe, comment, leave a review. Let us know how we're doing. Josh, take us out with a crazy stat.
I will. And next week will be a little more organized. I know I had to bounce in and out. I had a couple of important phone calls I was waiting on and got those taken care of. My crazy stat is, let me find it. I saved it. So can you name, and I'll even one or two of the youngest players in the MLB? Can you name any of them of the three? Because the three youngest have something in common.
They're the youngest.
Youngest. Like, I've got to think that Jackson Holiday has got to be one of them.
Ding, ding, ding. That's one of them. And the other two have something in common with Jackson Holiday. Derek says Jackson.
Churio.
Oh, look at Michael and Derek both playing the game. Yep.
And then
what do those two guys have in common?
Their names.
They're the youngest.
You guys are sharp today. And look at Derek. He either saw the stat or he figured out what they had in common. Jackson Merrill. All three of the youngest are the Jackson, not the Jackson 5, the Jackson 3.
Jackson 3.
And my next crazy stat will be Tom Brady comes out of retirement at the ripe old age of whatever he is now.
To finish the story.
Have you seen this kid, Jackson Holiday? Have you seen any of his stats? I mean, his highlights?
I've seen his highlights. I've not liked what I've seen so far, but I know it's not. I mean, he's not the first person to struggle being called up. Everyone still thinks he's got the goods, but I think he finally got his first hit. Hopefully, he's just a little big league nerves right at first. But it's making the Orioles look right when they said, "Look, he's not quite ready. We want to leave him down a little bit longer," and everyone else says BS.
Yeah.
But
no, I mean, there's plenty of time. It's not like that team doesn't have a bunch of young stars. Let this kid marinate a little bit. You
want to know? I watched a highlight reel of Jackson Holiday, and you know what the craziest, coolest thing I saw out of the highlight reel was? A highlight where him and Paul Skeens faced off against each other.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't know anything about Skeens. I had never seen him other than a picture on his first Bowman. That dude has the gas.
Yeah.
That dude is awesome. I can't wait till him. I just pray he doesn't come up and start needing Tommy John or something stupid. Like, he pumps it in there, and he has movement. And the Jackson Holiday highlight reel was him not being able to hit Paul Skeens, which I thought
Skeens is nasty. There's a reason why they took him number 1.
I had no idea, so I'm super excited about him coming up too. So.
All right, guys. Josh, again, thank you for taking some time off away from the shop. Jacob, thanks for producing. And guys, thanks for being here. And we'll see you guys next week.
Peace, boys.